Legends of rod and reel.
Time seemingly stands still in the small Wisconsin town of Eagle River. Just outside of town, Joe Bucher's home sits tucked away in the North Woods.
This is where I do all my writing. And as you can see, I try to develop an atmosphere. Actually, in fact, this little wall of fame here was actually built by my wife and a friend of mine. When I come into this room to write, you know, it gives me all the atmosphere I need. So, you know, I do it all right here.
Downstairs in Joe's man shack, he works.
This is really the first major magazine I wrote for. I mean, I wrote for a couple of small publications back in the early 1970s when I was still in high school. But there was a time when this was the magazine. This was, you know, this was the Fisherman before the Fisherman.
Even now, Joe still writes monthly articles. He's the worker in this family, right, Raider?
He loves to go fishing. This dog loves to go fishing. Actually, I'm working on an article called How to Win at the Muskie Game. It's for the Outdoor News group.
History hangs on the wall of Joe's basement. If only these walls could talk.
You know, this building actually originally was where we ran our tackle business. All the local girls, the housewives in the community here, would come in the morning and pick up their bucktails and their wires and their hooks and everything, and then they go home, you know, and then they'd make the lures, and then they'd come back and they'd drop the finished lures off. That's how we ran the business for, you know, 24 years. So it was kind of cool. But then when I sold the business, we took the same building and just turned it into our TV studio. And this is Fishing with Joe Bucher National Headquarters right here.
Joe's show airs through much of the Midwest. He teaches people to fish, not just for muskies, but most other freshwater fish too.
Before I had the TV show, I was a guest on other shows, both Al Lindner and Roland Martin. And Roland Martin in particular, more than once, you know, said, "Son," he says, "you need to get your own show."
So Joe started his own show, an educational look at fishing.
You know, it's really neat to write about it, but it's even better to actually do TV. It's something, as long as people want to watch me on TV, I'll continue to do a television show.
And he'll produce the music too.
I've been involved in the music business as a guitar player, as a songwriter, as a performer for a long time.
When he's not playing gigs throughout the Midwest, he's at home working on jingles for his fishing show.
So, you know, I just got some of my buddies together, and we go down to see a friend of mine in the studio and buy him a couple pizzas, you know, a couple pitchers of beer, and say, okay. I say, I'm gonna play this. You guys just lay down a bass track, lay down a drum track, put a keyboard track in there, let's see what happens. And this is what we do. That's me.
It's the soulful existence of a television fisherman.
It adds a great dimension to my show, being able to produce our own music.
And it adds a little more credibility to Bucher's legendary resume, one that his peers long ago noticed.
This is the living legends of American sport fishing. I'm very flattered that I was part of this. You know, I was the youngest guy to be in this publication at the time. I was 31 years old when this happened. So it was pretty cool. I would think that if my grandfather's up there looking down at me now, he's got to be pretty proud, because he's the guy that got me into all this, and he probably never thought that his little Joey Bucher would end up being a legendary angler in the Hall of Fame, so I feel pretty proud about that. Maybe that's the key here, a little light change here.
Just because Joe Bucher's a Hall of Fame angler doesn't mean he's not human.
Uh-oh. Might have a blooper for you. I'm good. I'm good.
On a fall morning, Joe shares his boat with an old friend.
There's fish down here, man, I'll tell you. Okay. This looks good.
A guy Joe affectionately calls Coach.
University of Michigan, Northern Illinois University, small school in Iowa.
Yes, Kip Kramer coached about everywhere. Seems he and Bucher might just relate on all that is life. After all, Bucher also carries the nickname Coach.
The game of football teaches kids.
Booker played years of football growing up. Nowadays, he coaches middle school football.
Good football weather today, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Could run that inside running game all day today, huh?
They would love it. They would love it today.
When these two guys share a boat,
If you set up that sweep,
it's over then.
then they're worried about it.
you just don't hear much about fishing.
He's in the Hall of Fame in fishing. I'm in the Hall of Fame with football, and so they both work together. You know, you got to have a plan in each one, and they all come back with positive results.
When you were casting there, a nice 45-inch fish just porpoised right there.
Joe's status stretches far past his boat.
He's been around for, seems like forever.
Just down the road at St. Croix Rods, folks there know Joe Booker well.
You know, when you look at all the guys in the fishing business, and you always come back to a few guys that are just really humble, down to earth, non-assuming, and that's the kind of guy Joe is. He'll help a little bit with us on our rod design, and it's been a great working relationship with Joe.
Specifically, this rod.
I've had a lot of success with this new split grip style design, not only for bass and pike and things like that, but for muskies. This is actually a muskie outfit.
A rod design Joe uses every time he tosses a muskie bait.
There's a fish in here that'd have to be hard for them to resist this.
All right.
All right, Coacher.
I got you.
I told you that boy would pay. I told you he'd do it. I told you the old Coacher do it. Coach, boy,
I knew that.
You got him hooked. You got him hooked sideways or something?
I don't know, but I don't know. You want to net him?
We got him, Coach. We'll get him. We'll get him for you, Coach. Coach K. You got him foul hook, Coach. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
I felt a swipe of him, see? All right, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready when you are, Coach.
All right, buddy.
Oh, he's foul hooked. Look at that goofy fish.
Okay.
There we go, Coach.
In the bucket. Free spool. Well, you know what happened? Here you go, buddy. You know
Buffalo twist.
I gave it. You know what? I felt it. I felt this hit, and he came back and got it again. That's much what he did.
That's when you got him, Coach. Good job.
I said eyeball time.
You did it again. All right. Now give him the buffalo lift. You got him?
I got you.
All right, buddy.
Look at that beautiful
There you
fish.
go. Good job, Coacher.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thank you.
While all this happens, a guy on shore snaps photos. Turns out the local newspaper guy showed up to write a story about Joe.
I just pointed myself in a direction and said, I'm going here, and this is what I want to do, and I want to build lures, or get in the guide business and do this, or start a TV show, or start a muskie magazine and try to do some of these things. But it just happened. Over time. Yeah, it just happened, and I look back on it now and say, gee whiz,
Yes, Joe Booker has a lot to be proud of, but all of that aside, Joe's proudest accomplishment might be the words that come from others.
Joe has taught thousands of people how to catch fish just like him. And I think that's what a legend is, the ones who can share their knowledge with others.
I mean, he's, as they say, legends, and that's what it's all about.
I always say there's 3 things to becoming a really successful angler, and that is learning the good fundamentals, becoming a really good fundamental angler, knowledge of the water you fish and the fish you fish for, and then effort. And you put those 3 together and you will become successful.
In fishing and in life, Joe did just that.
I tried to teach people how to catch fish, and I had fun along the way, and I did it, and like Frank Sinatra, I did it my way.